Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and those who identify as a desk lamp. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the U.S. Constitution. Enjoy. In May of 1787, delegates of 13 states came together to form a constitutional convention. They gathered in Philadelphia to draft a new Constitution of the United States, to 1. Replace the Articles of Confederation and create a federal governing power, along with 2. Setting the regulations that the federal government must work within. The result of this convention is the Constitution that we have in the United States today and the subsequent Bill of Rights. Some of you may be wondering, what is a constitution? Well, according to the dictionary, a constitution is a body of fundamental principles or established precedents according to which a state or other organization is acknowledged to be governed. Put simply, the U.S. Constitution is a written document outlining the fundamental principles of the peoples of the United States and the established precedents for the federal government. The Constitution has 3 main functions. First is creating a national government consisting of the legislative, executive, and judicial branches, with a system of checks and balances among the 3 branches. The second is to divide power between the federal government and the states, while the third is to protect the various individual liberties of the American citizens it governs. The checks and balances, along with other limitations, were direct reactions to the tyranny of a single monarch and British rule. At the same time, it was a correction to the weakness of the Articles of Confederation. In a democracy without a written constitution, the legislature may pass laws granting or taking away any rights, or even changing the structure of the government itself. A constitution is more difficult to alter, and the framers of the U.S. Constitution made it quite difficult to amend. An amendment must first pass both houses of Congress by a 2/3 majority, and then be passed by the legislatures of 3/4 of the states. This makes the Constitution an anti-majoritarian document. In 1789, James Madison introduced 12 amendments to the Constitution, 10 of which were ratified shortly after and subsequently became the Bill of Rights. An 11th, dealing with the congressional salaries, wasn't ratified until 1992. The other has never passed. The Bill of Rights protects the individual American citizen's rights to freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly, personal defense, and the right to bear arms, against unlawful seizure or search, and many more. These were necessary to outline so the federal government could make no laws restricting those freedoms. Now you may be wondering why I have decided to cover this topic. It is my firm belief that every American citizen should know their fundamental rights being protected by the Constitution. They should be aware of the limits that the Constitution puts on the different bodies of power and understand that the only thing that lies between their freedom and liberty and living under tyranny is this one document and its subsequent amendments, because the Constitution, whether we want to admit it or not, is under threat. Hate speech laws that will in effect govern what is and what is not okay to say are flooding all across the West, from Canada to the UK to Germany and Sweden. The freedom of speech for the peoples in these and many other countries is under attack. Let's not forget that there are people in political power that want these ideologies in the framework of the United States. The right for citizens of the U.S. to own firearms is and has been under fire for years. Politicians on the left use tragedy after tragedy that involve mentally ill or politically motivated individuals that make terrible decisions to murder people as a platform to push the disarmament of the public.
And it is in our power to do something about it. I say that recognizing the politics in this town foreclose a lot of those avenues right now. But it'd be wrong for us not to acknowledge it. And at some point it's going to be important for the American people to come to grips with it. And for us to be able to shift how we think about the issue of gun violence collectively.
Well, let me say this. I think we need to do more to protect all of our citizens. I have long advocated, this is not what today is about, but there are too many guns on the street. We lose 93 million Americans a day to gun violence. I mean, I've long talked about this. Background check, shutting down gun show loopholes. You know, that's not for today's discussion, but it's not just about politicians. We worry about this every day for all of our citizens.
Why, if it's not the day for it, why are you bringing it up? People are going to criticize that you're bringing up gun control at this time.
Well, I'm talking about this every single day. This is a very serious issue. You know, I just came with Colonel Flaherty recently. You know, we just buried one of our great state troopers, a special agent, with a wife and 3 young children, needless, senseless. So we've got to look at this, but I'm not going to get anywhere near the investigation. The FBI is leading this, but this obviously with 93 million people a day, it's just something.
The freedom to practice personal faith has taken blows as well. Off of the top of my head, I can think of 3 instances of Christian business owners that were either forced to shut down because of fines or provide a service that goes against their fundamental religious beliefs. Stop and frisk laws in New York City that are fundamentally against the unreasonable searches and seizures clause in the 4th Amendment. The 5th Amendment, among other things, protects persons from being held to answer for infamous crimes without an indictment of a grand jury or by being on a presentment. Yet in our culture and through mainstream media, even without evidence, individuals can be and are publicly convicted of crimes, no matter the actual decision by judge and jury. We must be acutely aware of what is going on around us. The Constitution has set out rules and regulations that are meant to keep the different branches of government in check. But over the last century, we have seen Congress become idle, and the executive and judicial branches gain more power than ever intended. Anyway, that'll be all for me today. Thank you all for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. If you enjoy what I do on my channel, consider subscribing and selecting that little bell icon next to the subscribe button to be sure you're notified every time that I upload. If you want to add to the discussion or even provide some feedback, put your comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I am able. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'm the Educationer, and have a great day.